My name is Harold. I think today we will wrap up the Taurus 608 videos, and we'll move on next to something else. I'm pretty sure. I think I got a couple ideas. But anyway, I have shot it already. This is after the actual shooting, and time now to sort of discuss a little bit of it. This guy right here, shooting those thunderheads, this thing from about this point out is a larger diameter than the bullets, and it's got these little ports in the top that let the gases come out so that it doesn't want to, want to flip up like that. Well, after shooting the first couple of hundred rounds through there, this end here, down in here, was just coated with lead. I had to scrape it out of there with a tiny little screwdriver and just, jab it in there and jab it in there until I finally got it all out. I bet there was a half a teaspoon of powder, I mean lead, in that in the end of that barrel there. So the thunderheads are not going to work out not as they are, because they just, they're not tough enough to handle the heat. So you're going to have to stay out of the kitchen. But next month I'll have a mold, and I'll be casting my own bullets for this gun, and then we'll see what happens. They'll be powder coated. I haven't had much of any trouble at all with powder coated bullets. By the way, I'll show you this. This guy is he's empty that's for the safety Nazis. I really don't want to shoot any old rednecks, and haven't ever so far, so I don't want to do that. This guy is empty too. This is a 38 special in a smaller barrel, smaller frame. But what I was going to compare these two is, you can see on the stock, what I guess maybe you could call the handle or whatever, that the 38 special is rounder and not as wide, right, from front to back, as the Taurus. Now this thing, I think, is just, I think it's too long this way and too narrow this way. And I'm going to try to find some grips that kind of round it out to look more like this guy here. I like this one. This one's incredibly comfortable to hold, and he's made just right. So that's what I'm going to try to go to with this guy here. And that's probably about the only fault I can find with this pistol is, is the shape of the grips. I don't really like that too much. All the rest of it functions well, and it shoots better than I do. So it's it's a good pistol, revolver, whatever. And this guy I'm going to start shooting a lot more, because once I start casting my own bullets, they won't be so expensive. Another thing I had learned here recently, I got a couple of XDs, and I had one of them, a 9mm, started malfunctioning on me, and I was trying to keep them pretty clean and all, so I wasn't really ready for that to happen. And what I had a habit of doing is I'd take the slide off of them. Here's the slide, and get a toothbrush and some Hoppy's number 9 and scrub all the carbon out of there, and turn it over and scrub all the carbon out of here, Well, what I wasn't aware of is, while I was doing all that carbon scrubbing, is there's various holes here that go down in there where the striker is at, and Hoppy's number 9 does a wonderful job of dissolving carbon, and it was melting all that carbon. It was running down in there around the striker. This one's got a striker also, so I pulled the pins out and opened the little booger up, and sure enough, the striker in there was in a black gooey mess that was kind of like black glue, and it couldn't come flying forward and hit the primers on the ammo. So it was malfunctioning. So I cleaned it all out, got all the goop out of it, and really I just left it mostly just dry in there. And I think that's the best way to leave your gun. Don't fill it up with oil, because it just combines with carbon anyway. And then I took this one, this is off the 45, and I opened it up, got the striker out, and sure enough, I had a gooey mess around it. Not as much as on the 9, because this gun's newer than the 9. And so I decided that always from now on, every time I clean this little guy, I'll pull the striker out, clean out the little, cylinder that slides back and forth in, and make sure I don't leave it full of Hoppy's number 9 and carbon. This morning I got the better half to consent to get up early and go out in the cold with me and be my camera woman for the day. So we're gonna, next part here, we're gonna see what we did at the bowling pin match. I wasn't prepared for it. It seems that they started off shooting 22 pistols, and I didn't take a 22 pistol, and I didn't take any 22 ammo. And one of the guys there was kind enough to loan me his Ruger Mark II. And I wasn't prepared for that either. He worked on his trigger and got it really slick. And the first shot, I was raising the pistol up off the sawhorses and shot my first shot in the mud. But I didn't expect the trigger to be so light. And it went downhill from there. And I didn't do very good with that. What they do in the 22 part of the shoots, they cut the top part of the bowling pin off, and you just shoot at the top parts of them. That's the pins that get all shot to pieces, that way you can run them through and use them again, And after we shot the 22 part, well, then we moved on to using semi-autos and revolvers and such. And I didn't really complete the whole match because I had to go to a birthday party afterwards, and it got to be noon, and I got up and shot my Taurus at 2 different tables of bowling pins and packed it in. But and of course, in the 22 part of it, you get to see me getting outshot by a girl, which real shame for a poor old guy like me. In fact, she came in second place on that part of the thing. I don't know who won overall. It's like I say, I packed it in before it was all over and went to a birthday party. But this is sort of what bowling pin shooting looks like at my shooting club. So I hope you enjoy the last part of this, and I want to thank you for watching, and maybe you'll want to subscribe, but don't go away yet. I'm just fixing to start on the bowling pin shooting part of this thing. The first part, like I said, would be with 22s, shooting at the tops of the pins, and then the last part, I'll take my Taurus and shoot at the whole bowling pin.
Well, the thing is they're trying
that's a gun I won't sell because
make
that's
dominance by
old.
pushing everybody out. And it's already said there's 4 to take the loss. Can you? It's a race to the bottom. It's a race to the bottom. Which I'm all about. Yeah, that's really what it's about. You think they would have learned? You never learned. The big thing is, had this happened in football, money because of the sanctions.
I went to all of Texas with the tool and sharp. And weird all on the field.
What's that?
Oh, their attitude about us is terrible.
It's all about master.
Well, I said it's all fed by propaganda. Yeah, I know that. I was watching a documentary on food sensitivity. They said there's only 2 numbers you need to know about Russia. I forget what one, but they said the median income of Russia is like $148. The median income of India is like $1,012. The median income of an Indian is higher than the median income of Russia.
I figured this is the best way to stay warm.
Depends on your
Double action.
All right, Rebecca.
Makes a huge difference.
Man lays out there solid.
Well, that's that raging.
It's John's time.
Yeah, I told you I borrowed one. The guy I worked at one. I borrowed it about an IDPA rig. Shot up a bunch of holes. Okay. Well, IDPA rig.
I rarely do that. It happened to be.
No, I didn't know
I got video. Yeah. I got proof.
200.
And those were all A's too.
It won't move.
I'm surprised.
With your findings.
Oh,
Brandon, that. Seeing a lighter bullet.
Hey, Norm.
Energy. Momentum is what takes these off the table.
Oh, she's camcording.
Well, it's mass.
Who's got a phone?
Mass times
Somebody.
the raw number is mass times velocity. However, there's a lot of other.
No, well, of course there is.
Momentum has the
If you said
Why
that,
don't you come over to the middle and get it?
momentum has the time factor.
I think that'd be better.
Hey, Norm. She's gonna camcording this weekend.
yeah, right, you would have more time.
So
with the
a
heavy-
slow, heavy bullet
Yep.
is better than a lightning fast.
Stand by.
With a heavier bullet, it's less likely to veer off.
Well, it's
If you're 223
providing more pressure.
with a perfect hit on this, probably won't take it off the table at 30. 500. Yeah,
Got it.
will. We'll put them over the burn.
That's right.
That's why they
Or,
want
or there won't be a pin.
No, there's one other.
Oh, go, go, go.
All right.
Tell you what, I got